We're here talking about codependency, and one of the topics that's often asked is about relapse. And relapse is when a person has some time in recovery where they stop drinking, they stop using, if they're getting their lives back together, and they return to the old pattern of drinking and using. And I know it can be just totally devastating for family members when that happens. But relapse really is a part of the recovery process. And I say that to mean that oftentimes the longer a person stays in treatment, the better their chances at dealing with the issues that come up in their life without returning to use. Sometimes when the person has only been in treatment, let's say 30 days or even 60 days, and they come out of treatment and they try to just get back quickly to their life, things begin to happen. Things that are not positive things, negative things begin to happen. And for a person that has been addicted to an alcohol or a drug for a period of time, that mind begins to say, you know, this would be easier if you had something to drink. Or if you just took something, it'll take the edge off. It'll help you deal with it. It's just easier. So there's a thing that's called mind chatter. And that mind chatter for the alcoholic addict, it's the mind saying, let's do more. We need more. Let's take a little bit more of the edge off. Let's feel a little bit better. Let's go. Just a few more. Let's just have one more. And when the person responds to it by consuming it, then they find themselves once again listening to that mind chatter. So what begins to compete for a person that's been in recovery, who is now home and picking up their life again, is the old mind chatter, the memory of what it used to be like for them when they used and what that felt like, versus trying to do all the steps of recovery, trying to go to meetings, talking to a sponsor, working the steps, doing the reading. It feels like work. Doesn't feel as good when negative things are happening. So there's a choice that the person always will reach. Sometimes people reach it every day in recovery, where they're deciding, are they returning to the alcohol and drugs, or are they going to stay in recovery? Are they going to go to a meeting instead? Are they going to pick up the telephone and call someone? Are they going to follow the relapse guidelines that were given to them? Are they going to take the action and be accountable for themselves? And what's interesting to note is that this is one of the biggest concerns for family members once a person comes out of treatment, is how do you keep them from relapsing? And the accountability and the responsibility is really on the person. The person has to be willing to follow the steps, which includes the guidelines that have been given to them about recovery, what recovery means to them. The motivation is on them to make the changes. They've been given the tools and the techniques. If they come to the family and put it on the family to be responsible because things are getting hard, then they're more likely to step into that process that's called relapse. And what you need to know about relapse is that the shorter the span of the time that they're in relapse, the more likely they can quickly go back into the recovery process without returning to a treatment program. But the longer they go using, abusing, getting more into it, the harder it will be for them to want recovery, because they're back into the old paradigm that they've been in prior to the recovery process. So what you need to know about relapse is, yes, it is a part of the recovery process. Every person that comes into recovery learns about relapse and are given the tools on what they can do to help them deal with the issue of relapse. So if your loved one has been in treatment, they know how to handle this. They know what they need to do. It's not on you to be on the lookout and to begin to talk to them about what you think they should do. Because once again, that is codependent behavior and you're getting back into an old process. Step back, allow them to handle the issue that's going on for them.